Around half a year ago, I decided to let it all out. But it didn't start off all this way. And for the longest time, I clung onto it, hugged it, and locked the door to its house. At the time, I thought the world was scary out there, and young old it wasn't ready for the world. Just not yet. First, it needed a little bit of polishing to do, so I let it wade inside my house, just safe and content. Now, what exactly is it? Well, it is potential, your potential. And potential waits by the front door every morning, just waiting to get out. I like to think of it as some sort of hyper enthusiastic dog waiting to see the faces of its owners who had gone far too long from a road trip. That potential of yours is waiting to unleash your havoc, and it's rather good havoc. Unfortunately, my havoc never released. My it stayed home all day. The potential of mine limited itself to the confines of my home. In other words, I didn't practice to polish or unleash that potential. I practiced to satisfy it within my own comfort. I took the years giving it a bath, letting it eat whatever food in the pantry, and let it watch any TV show, just in my own comfort zone. But I never let it out the house, never let it to public saunas, nor a fancy restaurant or a movie theater. I wanted it to stay at a state where it was good and content. I didn't know if branching out and then allowing my potential to grow would be a good thing. What if it was bad or worse than I thought? So I deliberately lessened my ability. In other words, I didn't try. I closed off all windows, all the doors, no thought of the outside. Because if I did try and the results didn't satisfy myself, I would disappoint myself and quit trying. Perhaps the world out there was dangerous and there was no point in letting that potential go. I was so scared to showcase myself to myself. I was scared of my own potential. In terms of my craft, if I wrote something or drew something that turned out unsatisfactory to my standards, I would doubt my entire ability. I gave in to these perfectionist, ponderous thoughts, so I stopped. But the drive within me to let something out grew, and it grew to the point where I had to do something. I had to let it out, my self expression and my potential. But I was just so scared, so I decided at first to let it out in just a different way. In drawing, one of the best ways to improve the craft is by copying images. So I made many copies and many works by copying others' works, and well, they gave me that satisfaction I needed. They were really great drawings, and I was satisfied with these results. If I was good here, then I thought I didn't need to improve anymore. I didn't need to move it or my potential out the house. It was content with this life. And back then, my potential in drawing was how well I could copy others' works. And I did them well after a while. That's the limit I was willing to accept, and I didn't venture off into some outside territory making works of my own. But soon I realized copying images was like mocking the it within me. It would breathe the outside air or perhaps get a glimpse out the window, but it wouldn't be walking the streets. So half that potential was almost wasted in some way, and still something wanted to be let out, and I wanted to create something for myself. In any case, we've eaten well. It's been a good year in the Kala. Until now, anyway. And we'll be happy to share what we have. Mayhap, if all goes well. If an old teacher of mine used to call it the only word 1,000 letters long. I realized I kept asking these if statements about everything I did, and what if the world is bad, or what if my potential is not where I wanted it to be, and what if my expectations weren't met. But all this questioning just completely filled up and clogged up time to actually act upon it and do something about it. So I tried. A year ago, I decided to let it all out. And I tried for the first time. And you could actually see it documented on this channel. It's my first short ever. It marked the beginning of its first steps out the house. I guess it showed the workings of my potential. I no longer confine myself to an online image or an online work, writing 200 words in 4 hours, trying to get the most perfect sentence structure. All it was me, myself, and a blank piece of paper and a pen in hand. If you've been good at something, but only good in a specific way, like how I was only good at drawing things by copying others' work, it may just mean that you're good at the thing either way, in no specific way. So, in other words, you've been restricting yourself for so long that you don't know how good you are. You've only witnessed half your power. Perhaps, let's say you've mastered the scrambled eggs, but haven't yet the fried egg. But you've never even attempted to cook the fried egg, so how would you know if you would do worse or if you would do better? Perhaps first try and it'll be great. Your knowledge is greater than you think. Sometimes you may find that change happens as quick as cooking a fried egg. It is also tricky too. It could one day be a question, an if, and then it could all of a sudden, once action is taken, become an it.